All right, folks, I'm Jake Ellenbogen. I am the Rams panelist for the NFC West Roundtable. And unfortunately, while we don't have a full NFC West Roundtable show this week, we do have, obviously, some content from every single panelist on the show. Cannot wait to be reunited and back together again. But because of the holidays, we are going to be sending out these videos. That way you have at least something to chew on. The Rams had something to chew on following a 19-9 win over the Jets. We'll dive into that. Just want to let you guys know that, of course, the sponsor of today's video is BetUS. And just letting you know that using the code YouTube150, you can get a 150% bonus match on your first deposit and 125% on your next two. As always, just have to remind you to bet responsibly. But if you're trying to bet on, say, tonight, the Saints, the Packers game, you got some Christmas games on Wednesday, you got a Thursday night football game, Seattle taking on the Bears, and then, of course, you have Saturday games, the Rams, Cardinals included. Plenty of opportunities, not just the NFL, really anything. Head on over to BetUS. Again, YouTube150 is that code. Be sure to bet responsibly. Okay, guys, so looking at this game, the Rams improved to 9-6 on the season. They've won 8 of the last 10, and they've actually been winners of 5 straight road games, which is something they have not done since 2001. The Rams' defense was not perfect in this game to start. Things looked a little shaky. However, the second half, they adjusted, and man, did they come through. They had some key and critical stops, including a red zone pass breakup by Ahkello Witherspoon on Davante Adams, forcing a turnover on downs. They held the Jets to 2 of 5 on fourth down conversions, which is crazy. The Jets lost a game in which they didn't even punt. In addition to that, Kyren Williams ran wild on the ground. He was great, 122 yards on 23 carries and a touchdown. And really, he probably could have kept going. So looking at this Rams team, to be able to go on the road and win this one in the cold, and I was there, I can attest to it, it was a cold weather game. The Rams did a great job of just finding a way to win. Wasn't easy. Matthew Stafford only had 110 passing yards. Now, felt like that was just part of the game plan. They really just wanted to run the football with Kyren Williams and Blake Corum and just, kind of keep the passing game to a minimum, which I think was the smart approach. But Stafford did throw an ill-advised pick into the arms of Tony Adams, the safety for the Jets. Cooper Kupp didn't really do much following his 0-catch, 0-yard game against the 49ers. He had 3 catches for 24 yards. Puka Nacua had an explosive, what else is new, for 27 yards. But aside from that, 8 catches for 56 yards. The Rams respected this Jets defense. They respected the elements, and they really wanted to win this game with their defense, getting stops and trusting in their defense, but also the ground game. And I thought they did a great job up front. Not a lot of opportunities to throw the football. I get that, but pass protection only gave up 3 pressures on Matthew Stafford. That was great. In addition to that, the run game, just the blocking up front in the run game was great. Tyler Higbee came back, first game since the playoff game in January against the Lions, where he tore his ACL and MCL on what I still would say is a dirty hit by Kirby Joseph. He comes back in this one and gets the touchdown. Looked really fluid, just moving with the football, without the football. A really good time for him to come back. The Rams are getting hot at the right time. Obviously, winners of 8 of the last 10, like I mentioned. But this was a big-time win for the Rams because it doesn't matter that the Jets are 4-11. They're 2-5 at home. It doesn't matter that, the Rams won a game in which that they were expected to win. The Rams won 5 straight road games. The Rams won 8 of their last 10. The Rams are winning football games. They lost football games they shouldn't have lost. They lost in overtime to start the season to the Lions. They lost in the final seconds to the Bears. They lost in the final seconds to the Packers. These are games that they could have won. They lost an 8-point game to the Dolphins where they kicked 5 field goals. So that's where you're at. I mean, the Rams lost games that they weren't supposed to lose, and then they come through here and they win finally a game you're supposed to win, right? And they're finding ways to do that. That's another thing with the Rams. They're finding different ways to win. If you have to have a game where Stafford throws 110 yards, you need your defense to step up and you need your running back to step up, that's what's happening. If you need to beat the Bills because they're going to score 42 and you need to score 44 to win, that just happened. If you need to go on the road and play against a team that has really nothing to lose but everything to gain, when it came to the 49ers on a short week, and it's the pouring rain and your quarterback can't grip the football, you just find a way to get it done even without scoring a touchdown. They did that. If you have a game against the Saints where you go on the road following a devastating primetime loss, 17-point loss to the Philadelphia Eagles, you go on the road and you beat the Saints after not scoring in the first half for the first time in your coach's entire regular season career. These are the things that are getting people excited about the Rams. It's why they are considered, if they get into the playoffs, a tough out. But speaking of which, what does that mean? Can they get into the playoffs? Can they clinch? Where are we at? Well, the only way that they can clinch in this upcoming week, which is week 17, is on Thursday night. Brandon's Seattle Seahawks have a shot. If they beat the Bears, then, and the Rams lose to the Cardinals, it's a winner-take-all week 18. Interesting, right? If the Rams lose to the Cardinals, it's a winner-take-all. But if the Rams beat the Cardinals and Seattle beats the Bears, the Rams have a 99-point-whatever percentage of making it. They could still miss it if they lost to Seattle week 18 because of the tiebreaker. So the tiebreaker, to explain, is a strength of victory tiebreaker. It would go to strength of victory because they'd have pretty much all down the road, same record and conference and division and all that. So it goes down to strength of victory. And the strength of victory is going to be based on all the wins. It's the combined win percentage of all the wins that you've had. So if the teams that Seattle played, the unique teams that the Rams played, if they all lose and the unique teams that the Seattle Seahawks played all win, then the Rams, if they lost the Seattle game, would actually not make the playoffs. As crazy as that sounds. It's not likely, but it's not impossible. So that is that for that point. However, Thursday, if the Bears beat the Seahawks, the Rams, all they have to do is beat the Cardinals week 17 on Saturday Night Football. And if they do that, the Rams have won the division, regardless of week 18. That is the only way they can clinch this week. The Bears have to beat Seattle on Thursday. The Rams have to beat the Cardinals on Saturday. For the most part, if that doesn't happen, either of those two don't happen together, then week 18 is going to be the deciding factor. So, interesting stuff. That said, this is a team that was 1-4. They've turned it around. They're 9-6 now. You have to feel good about them. The defense, once again, coming to play, only giving up 6 against the 49ers, on a Thursday night, short week and all, and only giving up 9 to the New York Jets that just scored over 30 points, and Aaron Rodgers is moving the ball all down the field. So I think there's a lot of good to take away right now. I think at the right time, first off, Kyren Williams, over 300 carries, over 1,200 rushing yards, 13 touchdowns. He's among the league leaders, and he's been one of the best players on this team. He is key and critical. He is 10 touches away from passing Todd Gurley and becoming essentially having the most touches for any Rams player since 2010, Steven Jackson. Pretty crazy, right? Well, furthermore, not just, the Kyren deal, but Matthew Stafford has not had some great games the last 2 weeks. He's taken a back seat. They are focused on finding ways to win games. Now they head to SoFi the rest of the season. The next 2 games are at SoFi Stadium. And if they take care of business, the next 3 games will be at SoFi Stadium, guaranteed, because the Rams will have the 3rd seed. That's another thing. Tampa lost to the Dallas Cowboys on Sunday Night Football, and now the Rams have clinched an opportunity where if they win the next 2 games, they get the number 3 seed in the playoffs. they will be hosting a wild card game. Can they host a divisional round game? That remains to be seen. Likely, unlikely, but we'll see. That said, a lot of good things coming their way. Puka Nacua is still Puka Nacua. Cooper Kupp is still Cooper Kupp. Offensive line is healthy, and they're humming at the right time. Great in the run game. Great in pass pro. Stafford hasn't been sacked in like 3 or 4 weeks. Defense is really stepping up. They got pressure on Rodgers, not a ton, but that secondary had to step up, and they did. Ahkello Witherspoon did a great job of holding Allen Lazard, Garrett Wilson, and Devontae Adams to a combined 39 yards on 4 catches for 4 out of 7 targets. He didn't give up a touchdown. He had a pass breakup, and he had a huge pass breakup on a 4th down conversion in the red zone. So then you had Darius Williams, who played well. The secondary's playing well. Cameron Curl had the game-changing forced fumble. And Omar Spates and Christian Roseboom have been huge at linebacker. So right now, the Rams, they could beat anybody. They're finding different ways to win. They're growing up before our eyes, and they're evolving. How far will they go? We'll find out. But this was a big win, and now we move on to the Cardinals game. That's going to do it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed. As always, be sure to subscribe. You can also check out my channel if you haven't already, Jake Ellenbogen. You can subscribe over there. But here, definitely be sure to subscribe to Roundtable Sports. And in addition to that, of course, leave a comment. Let me know what you guys think. And, of course, hit that thumbs up button. We'll be back soon. So everyone enjoy your holidays. It's going to be fun. Everyone stay healthy, stay safe, and take care. I'll see you guys soon. Later, folks.